Jigglypuffs as well. Now Metaknight, we've got all of them, a little representation for everyone.
I love that. We'll see how this gets on. I feel like this would be a favorable matchup for Makibaz, honestly.
Yeah, talk a little bit about that as well, because everything that you said about Jigglypuff in terms of aerial mobility being able to cover, Metaknight sort of has a similar thing on the ground, but has some decent options in the air if you're able to get away, although for the time being, that's already proving to be a difficult task.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like it's definitely going to be a battle in the air for both these guys. Definitely an air armada coming out, but all you see, Bassmage sniffing out that roll. If he rolled in, they would have died. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, it's stunning as well how much was covered right there. If you roll away, you drift forward. If you roll in, you get rested. If you stay right there, I'll get a grab, which, you know, may actually be the least damaging position to be in. So the right choice picked, and the opponent still has an answer for it.
Definitely seems to be a pick your poison type of moment. I don't know who has the anecdote or the antidote, should I say, either way. And, oh, man, talk about stories. I can talk about that back air for days.
Nice work there. Again, just slight pullbacks here. More damage being stacked. 30% off of one wayward aerial. Great conversion there. Follow right up. Even Metaknight not going to trip far enough out, going way out. Thank goodness for all those jumps. Metaknight is going to get away, but the danger is not yet gone. Finally comes through with that trusty dash attack. And again, you're already starting to see here, with Jigglypuff being able to drift so far forward and those quick extensions that work so much at low percent, you can again start to see how they're building their neutral games against one another.
Yeah, for sure. And you can see, I'm liking the way Bassmage is playing this very, just waiting, F-tilts, forward airs, kind of keep Makibaz away. And anytime he lands unsafely, he will be getting grabbed, he will be getting forward air with Ned, maybe into a rest.
Well, I mean, that's the nice thing, too, about a character like Jigglypuff, where your answer for your option coverage is, I'm going to short hop.
For sure.
And you can do so much so consistently out of that short hop. Other characters might need to get the right positioning. They might need a projectile down, all sorts of things. It's a big game, folks. But Jigglypuff, you get near where you think they're going to go. You short hop, and you can cover everything else from there. Now, a huge important here for Makibaz does close it out. Absolutely needed to, because at high percents, Jigglypuff can live a lot longer than you'd expect.
Oh yeah, it's going to be really scary. You have to always chase the Puff, and it can be so hard. Again, another kill from those aerials, so menacing. Okay, the pound lasts for so long, able to get some combos, any type of string, and you see Bassmage keeping it going.
Yeah, great job there. Falls out of that and continues to move forward. A grab in that position, was anticipating a shield and still got rewarded for it. Now Metaknight, lots of tools, plenty of mobility to work in there. Does a pretty good job, but again, that dash attack, as safe as it is, not enough. One more aerial fabs might do it.
And you can see, I feel like Bassmage is setting up for it. Just waiting, wall of back airs. I've seen that in a different game. Seems to be in this game too. It's a wall of pain, but hold on. Scouting at the air dodge, doesn't get too much off here. Makibaz getting clipped by the dash attack, living again though.
Pretty good job here again. Should be able to make back onto stage. Bassmage seems A-okay with allowing that here, and given the circumstances, you see it. Not going to be enough, going to fall in a painful landing.
That is painful.
We knew that was happening there as soon as that second hit ended.
Damn, that's got a sting, man.
Oh. And Metaknight, not a character that can drift enough out of that to really get into a position to even make it a question for Bassmage there. Bassmage was like, I just have to hit the ground before you. That's really all I have to do. And up smash did it there, but forward smash would have done it. Down smash probably would have done it.
Okay, you see, Makibaz, thinking about stage list, there are some things that some places they can go.
Yeah, interesting to note here again, most of these players probably don't have a great on-paper game plan for a Jigglypuff that extends all the way out to where you're going to be going for the next stage. And yeah, right back to it here. So no tricks, no gimmicks for the time being. We'll take a look at it as Bassmage doing a little jamming right there in the seat.
Yeah, they've got to be feeling themselves for sure. Playing like that in the first game. Still got 2 games to work with, okay? That pound doing a great job of extending, staying up for so long, catching you. Big hitbox as well.
Yeah, again, 51% just off of that pound has to feel so frustrating when you're in that position. And again, not really a lot that you can say about it, provided that Jigglypuff is able to string together those 2 down airs. Everything after that is kind of dealer's choice, but you get those 2, you get your guaranteed damage. Metaknight, another character with some pretty good damage, and I will say, Bassmage immediately jumping out and doing some of these air dodges. You're only going to get to do that so many times before Makibaz figures something out.
I think it's because Bassmage is really abusing that edge that they're given. Jigglypuff is extremely good, top tier, shall I say, the way they're able to move around, being so ambiguous, deceptive, and how they're going to land.
Yep, and you saw it right there, not drifting all the way away, instead sort of drifting halfway away to be a similar threat. But Makibaz, again, Metaknight, a character who doesn't have a whole lot of end lag and would have liked to end the last game like that, but taking a lead in the first game, even better.
If it doesn't work, try and try again. It worked out this time. Makibaz going to definitely be feeling a little bit better about that one. But just getting clipped by the up air, smallest of hitboxes just creeping you up there in the skies.
It just doesn't matter who you are. Once you're off stage right there, Jigglypuff is going to have a chance to get you.
Yep.
And when the Jigglypuff is at low percent, certainly no threat. And speaking of threat, oh no, low, even lower.
And still, Jigglypuff is able to keep the ledge, the combo going, or the string, and keep up pressure as well. You see, Makibaz, good weight from there, basing out the Sing. Can they get a kill from it though? The ladder is not going to be the one this time. Looking like a snake instead. Just going to slip down.
So difficult to get that follow-up onto Jigglypuff here. Again, if the Jigglypuff is air dodging properly and then DIs properly here, you might not have a choice at that point. You have to sort of cut it short and try to pick up on where they are landing. But with those big aerials at the start of it, the percent lead going drastically in favor of this Jigglypuff dimensional game. Not safe, my friend. Go ahead and get back off stage and find your way again.
Okay, and getting clipped by the dash attack yet again. No kill though. Bassmage, a very aggressive landing on how they want to get back to stage. Getting the kill themselves, now taking the lead, and here we go. More dares. It's going to keep spinning to win and just drilling them down.
And it seems like every single one of the stocks starts like this, where it's a situation at the start, Makibaz goes ahead and swings, and Bassmage says, all right, I'll just go ahead and take my down air, take all the damage. You reared back a little bit there. We both had kind of the same idea of what might happen.
Yeah, I saw the up air, and I was like, is it going to rest? Like, is it time to sleep? But no nap time yet. Still early in the day, apparently. Bassmage keeping the pressure on, getting clipped by that dash attack, but no conversion from Makibaz.
No, not yet. And there again, couldn't quite identify how far away the Jigglypuff was going. Instead, does a great job again, finally getting in and shielding a little bit. There are punishes to be had depending on the aerial drift. Again, starting to catch it here. I really do think Makibaz is starting to find the pace of this. The question is it too little too late? And are Bassmage's punishments just a little bit too much? You see the back air is being tossed right out. The drift so ambiguous.
And again, the back air, any type of hit they can just to get rid of the stock, but Bassmage living so long for such a light character. One grab, up throw, is going to take the stock. This is where Makibaz might be able to lock in, get a sneaky ladder that can kill it quite early percent.
Yep, is Jigglypuff going to fall out of it? The big question, you immediately saw the grab, and man, that is a hefty thing to go for at that side. So many ways for that to be punished in this game, but we said, will we see a ladder? The Metaknight thinking the same thing.
Live and die by the grab, man. Going to die this time, and that was a bit brutal way, but they were getting close, like you talked about. They're finding things out, maybe a bit too late, but they've still got a third game to work with.
Well, that's the thing about playing against Jigglypuff is, at least on paper, none of it is going to overwhelm you in a sense of they're going to mix up how they're coming in and attacking, how far they're going through. So if you have some sort of a way to kind of identify how that's coming in, you can keep pace with the Jigglypuff, trade a lot, and take your chances from there. But we're seeing an outright change to a character we've already seen today, Lady Palutena.
And I'm actually really glad about this pick. She does negate air. You know what I mean? She is the goddess of the sky. She'd be controlling it too. It's definitely sometimes you can put out hitboxes where it's like, you know what? This is a no-fly zone. And speaking of them right now, the up air hits up and hit them to the two sides as well. That's a big hitbox.
One thing I will say about Jigglypuff into this matchup is all of the nice things that you can do out of this nice Palutena attacks, as you said, it all gets a little bit harder. Jigglypuff's so short that sometimes the lower hit doesn't clip where it would a taller character, and Jigglypuff can drift so far away after getting hit by one nair, that conversion much harder to hit.
As well as that, they have that, has the crouching as well, being able to crouch certain moves of a Palutena. The low profiling might help in this matchup maybe, but we'll just have to see if it can work or not. A bit more close to this game. Bassmage getting a nice parry grab.
Oof, okay, barely making it back here. That's the other question here. We said earlier, all those different jumps, Metaknight could make it somewhat ambiguous how the recovery is going to go. Palutena, not a bad recovery by any means, but you've only got so many options, and Bassmage nearly scouted that one out.
Yeah, and the beauty of Jigglypuff's normals are that, of the aerials especially, they last for so long. So when they can, with Palu having a teleport, no hitbox in that recovery, going to be very susceptible to that nair at the ledge. You see it there, trying to get the fair as well. Any hit.
So difficult there. Nice both spacing out back airs, and Jigglypuff actually losing it for once. Pretty remarkable. Again, now going high and landed just properly, but the roll gets red there as well. again, when so many of Jigglypuff's combo and kill options come out of the same thing, which is a short hop, you have such great room for error if you have the opponent in a defensive position.
Yeah, it really matters which move you throw out for Bassmage's sake. It's always like, you know what, I'm going to put a last hit or a long-lasting hitting move to kind of like challenge you if you want to put out your own move yourself.
Right, Makibaz still in a perfectly fine position here. An aerial that high will certainly get the job done. The chase is done, but the drift right through. You think that the Jigglypuff going to be drifting to the ledge, instead drifts right forward again, being ambiguous. There it is again, Fabs catching with it, but only 2 this time. Not nearly as much damage as we've seen before, but finally catches him. A one-way trip off. Does have one opportunity, and it's not enough.
And stuff like that is absolutely terrifying, you know? One hitting there at that ledge covers so much, especially with the teleport. There's no hitbox. Can't challenge it. Okay. One there, doesn't get attacked this time. Feel like Bassmage is evading it. Something sort of a criminal. We're looking might be a robbery right now, and oh man, couple of fairs, couple of down airs.
Dangerous again. Oh, the immediate jump from the ledge. No ledge invulnerability once you drop down and try to make your jump. A big price to be paid. Again, barely warping past. Now needs to capitalize on this situation. Went for a grab at the ledge. Bassmage nowhere to be found near that ledge, though. At this point, even more difficult. You're going to get one more chance, and it's a deadly chance there as Bassmage finishes with authority. We said eventually Jigglypuff at the ledge with the long hitboxes is going to have a say on what you're doing. 2 stocks that time lost to it.
That was a checkmate situation. They